After some asking around, Qui-Gon Jinn finally meets the young pod racer Anakin Skywalker. Now, if you've been tracking the timeline, you know that we're right up to when Qui-Gon found Anakin in the original timeline. But this time, the circumstances are much different. Qui-Gon recognizes the young boy's Force adeptness and devises a plan to win the boy's freedom. Now, just a quick side note, Darth Sidious is still working in the shadows to bring his plan of destroying the Jedi and gaining complete rule of the galaxy into fruition. However, the rising power of Dooku's Wayseekers present both a potential threat and a potential weapon. So, while in the original timeline the Trade Federation blockade is happening right now, that's not what's going on in this timeline. Sidious must first address Dooku's order. Having met Dooku earlier, Palpatine would continue to lend an ear to the Count, listening to his frustrations and offering advice. Essentially, Palpatine was building trust with Dooku as the senator from Naboo. This would create the perfect opportunity, though, for Palpatine to reveal himself as the Sith Lord Darth Sidious, should that be the case. And once again, this is similar to what happened in the original timeline. Meanwhile, after freeing Anakin Skywalker, Qui-Gon and Anakin stay on Tatooine, but move to a small cave in the Dune Sea. Qui-Gon makes this choice for two reasons. First, it is a remote place that will be free of interference from the Jedi or Dooku's Wayseekers. Qui-Gon believes that this boy has incredible potential, but senses both orders would corrupt him in some way. The second reason he chooses to train Anakin still on Tatooine is so that the boy can occasionally see his mother. Qui-Gon senses that Anakin would never truly be free of attachment, so he decides to let that be a part of his training. After all, he's not bound by the Jedi Code anymore. Once again, this would be around the time where Queen Amidala makes her escape from Naboo and ends up stranded on Tatooine in the original timeline, but once again, the blockade by the Trade Federation has been delayed because Palpatine wants to learn more about Dooku and the growing power of his Wayseekers. Sidious was a calculated schemer and did not execute plans until he understood every angle. Dooku and a new order of Force wielders would be a strong reason for Sidious to step back and rework his plan. There were things that Darth Sidious was afraid of, and that was mainly his plan to fail. There's even a moment when the Black Sun crime syndicate poses a threat to his ultimate plan. So it's not out of the question to recognize that the rising power of Dooku's Wayseekers would be a cause for Sidious to pause and readjust his plan. But this delay would not be long, just long enough for Sidious to assess all of the pieces on the board. So back to Qui-Gon and Anakin. On Tatooine, the two would train uninterrupted. Anakin was a quick learner. Everything Qui-Gon threw at Anakin, the boy was able to accomplish. Qui-Gon was impressed by Anakin, but also curious. His midichlorian count was higher than any Jedi he'd ever known, even Master Yoda. The thought crept into Qui-Gon's mind, whether or not he should make contact with Yoda to share this discovery. It had been so long since he had talked to any Jedi. His insight into Anakin would be helpful though. The same thought regarding Dooku even surfaced. But Qui-Gon decided it was too early in Anakin's training. The point was to train him separate from any of the Jedi or Dooku. Dooku and Palpatine's relationship grew, and eventually Palpatine was faced with a tough choice. His current apprentice Darth Maul was a near-perfect weapon, but Dooku could serve his plans more effectively. Dooku could be the public face of his plans in a way that Maul never could. A test was in order. Before revealing himself to Dooku as the Sith Lord, Palpatine sent Maul with instructions to kill Dooku. Darth Maul's ship ripped out of hyperspace, outside of Serrano. His master had sent him to kill the Count of this planet, a man who was once a Jedi Master. Maul had spent his whole life waiting and training to be unleashed on the Jedi. A man who could not cut it as a Jedi would be all too easy, Maul thought. He cursed his master's patience. He was ready to face a real Jedi, not these useless errands that did not challenge Maul's abilities. Count Dooku was sitting at his desk. when the doors opened and a figure dressed all in black strode into the room. The figure stood about 2 meters high and held a long lightsaber hilt. Dooku recognized it as a double-bladed lightsaber. Anyone brave enough to wield one of those must have been skilled, because any wrong move and it was just as dangerous to them as it was their opponent. The figure dropped his hooded cloak to the floor, revealing a Zabrak male with menacing yellow eyes. Dooku raised an eyebrow and reached for his lightsaber. "I can assure you this will not go the way that you're intending it to go," he stated to the Zabrak with a double-bladed lightsaber. "I am Darth Maul," the figure hissed. "I am Sith. This will go exactly as I choose." Dooku smiled. "So, the Sith are not extinct." At that, Dooku and Maul leapt toward each other. Maul's double-bladed lightsaber spun in a relentless attack on Dooku, who merely dodged each swing. Maul was not prepared for the speed and the precision that this old man displayed. Dooku was a master of Form 2, or Makashi. This elegant form was invented by the Jedi Order to deal with exactly the problem before Dooku: Sith Lords. Maul's acrobatic Form 7 was deadly, but Dooku's precision made quick work of Maul. Before long, Dooku had severed the Sith Lord's lightsaber hilt in two. Maul staggered back, a hateful gleam in his eyes. As the duel continued, Dooku allowed Maul to push him back into the hallway. This would give Dooku an advantage in combat. The young Sith was skilled, Dooku could not help but think, but he did not have the discipline and experience that Dooku had. Seizing an opportunity, Dooku slashed at Maul's right arm, taking the arm clean off, and in the same swing, he claimed Maul's left leg. Maul dropped to the floor, and Dooku raised his lightsaber and looked into the hate-filled eyes of Maul. "I offer you a choice, my young friend." Hey guys, that's it for part 2. Part 3 is on the way. Let me know what you'd like to see happen to Maul. Should Dooku finish the job, or should Maul join the Count? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, leave a like for the video and subscribe for more content. May the Force be with you.